Hello.
Hello.
Hey everybody. Oops. How's everybody doing? Thanks for joining us. I'm actually in the south of France in an Airbnb. Marcel is in Mexico. Of course. Thank you a lot, everybody, for the love for Pinie. You showed us so far. I mean, it has been great. It took too long to release. 2 years now.
3 years ago, right?
Yeah. And we wrote it, 2 years ago. And I think we played it together in the first year. And now, I mean, it feels a little bit sad that it took too long to release, but here we are. I mean, it's fun. We got some questions that you sent it to us, and I think we just jump right in, right?
Yeah, if no one has questions, right along here. I mean, start with the questions you already have.
Yeah, I can, like, somebody asked, like, how did we
Luca.
meet?
Sorry, it's a friend from home.
Like, we met through your music, actually. I think my girlfriend had a video she seen somewhere and showed it to me, and I loved it a lot. So I just sent you like a message, and I think not even much later we met in my studio in Berlin, really spontaneously. And started making music together on that same night, basically, and just really freely, basically, because when you start making music with somebody else, you have to check if the vibe is right when you do music together. And I thought this clicked immediately. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but you said like when we first wrote on Instagram, I think you said, yeah, let's meet in the studio, but I don't really wanna make music because it always makes too much pressure on it. So we were trying to just chill and jam a bit, but with no expectations. It was really fun.
yeah. But I mean that song that we did that night was actually one of the best, right? I mean, we had this session with Andreas first, and
My brother.
and then this slow track. But I think we wrote, like, all in all 10 songs, like ideas together, and on this album there will be just 4, and let's see what happens with the rest.
Yeah.
Um, um, yeah, that's how we met, actually. Do you have something to add? I don't know.
Well, I've been a fan since my teenage years. I've been listening to ParraforCuva like, I don't know, for 10 years now or something. So I wasn't believing that he's writing me on Instagram. I didn't know that he is also from Germany, and I was super surprised about that. And yeah, I mean now we are best friends, but it's still like I'm still fanboy. So it's really nice for me to be featured on the album now.
Yeah. No, it was such a pleasure. I think, like, a lot of people think that I'm from Argentina or something. But yeah, my pleasure. What did the studio in Italy look like? Um, I mean, yeah, we drove to Italy. We had an Airbnb also booked, and they had like a really tiny garden hut, and we put all the equipment there. Basically, I think it was just a room, like 4 square meters or 5 or 6, I don't know.
And it wasn't really a studio. It was
No.
just like 2 monitors and
Yeah.
one keyboard and some percussions and one microphone. So basically, it wasn't professional at all.
No, like, we had no recording equipment, basically, just the sound card. Like, also the microphone was not that good, to be honest. And I was looking also in the session today, and I was wondering, like, we did a lot of recordings with an iPhone in general.
Yeah.
Just which is not, of course, not how I usually work or how you usually work. I don't know. But I think for this, sometimes it needs to be quick, and even in that little hut, it's just about the space that you can be creative in, you know, if it feels right. And I mean, the view was nice, the sound was crap, but you could be really loud in there and nobody cared, you know. So I think we will post some pictures on Monday from this hut where we make music, and also Pinie. Yeah, I mean, it was just a really nice time being in Italy in general. Yeah.
And I was sleeping in this little hut, right? I was like having a mattress on the floor and sleeping until you came in the morning with your coffee, and we sat down and made some new ideas. And it was like, yeah, 3 weeks of living in paradise, no caring about internet and social media and stuff. It was just like being creative
we,
and
we had no Wi-Fi, right?
no.
I think like what because somebody else asked that question, how's the songs are balanced, like what comes from who, and I think because you slept in the studio, and I think you work really long sometimes, like really late hours, but woke up really early, and I sleep really long sometimes. Um, that of course we sat next to each other a lot of times and wrote ideas, but sometimes we just did it like this, that somebody worked on an hour on the song, and then you jumped in and worked another hour. So for me, this was also new, because for me, making music is always sitting next to each other, and it's like, okay, this filter needs to be like this and this needs to be like that. So I think sometimes it was really nice to have a break sometimes, and not being too stressed about.
Yeah, and I think we both like being alone, right? It's like we both like those introvert nerds in a way that like to be like alone on a computer for hours and then maybe show the next step to each other to the other one, and then like the other one is going on with the idea, and
Yeah.
it's like always switching around and sometimes being together. But it was also a lot of, okay, I do 3 hours now and then you go on.
And I think, like, because, yeah, as I said, I think with Pinie it was a bit that we at night we joined, like we worked together on the song, really really hyped basically, and we were dancing to it. I remember that, and during the day we just did it separately basically. And also, I think, I don't know about the other songs. Also, the other songs are really, that counts on the album, are not as dancey that we did together. So this is, I think, the more dancey or housey track of our collaboration. Um, what's the next
You
question? Where do
don't
you?
know where we started the song. What was the first element? I think maybe a sample. So oftentimes you start with a sample, right? You have something like found in any library or in the internet and start with a beat or a sample.
I think, like, I I don't know how we started Pinie basically, but what I do is always take like a little, like a tiny, like maybe harp sample, and then just loop around somewhere that you have like a patch out of, and put reverb on the sample, and then I start maybe layering a bass line, put some chords on it, and then I think you came and played guitar on it.
Yeah, I have a project here on my computer. I think it's a guitar. It's this one,
Yeah,
acoustic guitar, and it sounds like this.
but was it recorded with iPhone actually or not?
I
I
think,
mean, I don't.
yeah, no, it's recorded in Ableton.
Okay.
This one.
Because sometimes everything, yeah, I think the guitar was layered a lot of times, and I think this was where Penis was born, with with this guitar idea basically, and um, we started to arranging it a little bit, and you were singing on it, and I think we had like a proper loop, and what makes it really interesting at some point was your pluck sound that you played on it,
Oh, yeah.
um, which is like somebody asked that as well. What's the pluck sound actually? And um, it's if you guys know Omnisphere, this is like a plugin where you can find a lot of stuff. And Marcel does it like this, and he puts in random and just clicks through sounds what he likes, and then something pops up, and you went with this. So
Yeah.
I think not specifically chosen in any sense.
No, and I think it's just the first preset, like nothing modulated on it. It's just like this preset. It's called Purdy Chaos. I think you've got it on your laptop.
Yeah. I mean, so not. I mean, it was not processed so much. But
Can you play it? The... there's
and
delay on it, but I think the delay is also from Omnisphere, right?
yeah, and we put like we put a filter on top because otherwise it sounded really I don't know, like cheapish, and there was, I think, like you had to balance between a cheap sound and like a cool sound,
I mean,
and
it still sounds kind of cheap, but I like it like that, like really digital sounding house
yeah,
synth.
true. It's true. Um, how do you create your vocal sound actually? Like a lot of people ask this. I
Hmm.
know, but I can tell
Yeah.
them because yeah,
Um, yeah, a lot of people asking me that, and I think there's nothing really on it. It's like the magic is just a chorus from Ableton. I can show you. There's like this is no secret. I've got a wave tune on it. This is really good auto tune because it tunes it a little bit more natural, I think, than Antares auto tune. Then I always got a auto filter low cut, and it's this chorus. It's the chorus of the old Ableton versions. I think the new Ableton versions don't have this chorus anymore, so I made a preset from my Ableton 10 or
yeah,
something and imported it into the new Ableton sessions. So it's basically just auto tune, a filter, a low pass filter, and a low cut filter and a high cut filter, and the
yeah,
chorus, nothing more. I think maybe we boosted the highs a little bit. I'm always recording on the Shure SM58, so the most basic microphone that exists on the world, and yeah, basically nothing on it. So it's just this chain. You can copy it if you want.
yeah. But because I think sometimes I use like the wave tune to in the end to make things work a little bit more straight. Like this is also an auto tune, but for this live tune, I think you put it the measurements like really hard. So I mean
Yeah,
it's basically you
it's
can
100%.
wrong sometimes and it still pitches right. So I mean it's of course you can adjust it as you want, and I think you're a good singer as well, but it's just it's about the sound in general. So
And normally I double the vocals with the same preset, or maybe adjusting the auto tune a bit, like making the auto tune on the second vocal a bit lower, or maybe the chorus, so it sounds a bit different. But on this track, I just had one vocal, and the funny thing about this one is like this was the 11th take, and it was the take from the session there, and I had no lyrics on it, so we didn't
But this,
re-record this because we really liked it, right?
but does it because sometimes our language, like if it means anything, I mean, does it? Is there a translation to it, or do you?
Well, sometimes I just feel like this fantasy language, and it's enough for me. And it says
It's a bit about the
something,
feeling.
so that's fine for me. So then you were also like, "Oh, it sounds great," and let's just keep that.
But I'm easy to convince, basically. But I think it sounds really nice, and I think we have a lot of more takes. But like I think it's also like of course I can feel it, and it sounds nice to me. But I think you had to choose what's right and what's wrong, and I wasn't even sure in the beginning if vocal would fit on the song. So I think it fits really well.
Mhm.
Genau. Yeah, I think like I didn't see all the questions here. Maybe I check. Do you guys mix by your own? Of course, everything is. Of course, everything is mixed by your own. Like I mix my stuff um, because I always want to hear every project you have, you get a little bit better in mixing. I don't know about you, but you mix your stuff as well. And I
Yeah.
remember last time we've been to Italy, we were checking mixes in the car and everywhere, basically on all kind of stereo types. So we had to so you check like everything is fine. And I always want to see a progress in my mixing skills at some point. But I don't master, so mastering comes from a different guy. And but yeah, I think you also mix much different than I, but that like you have to do it a few times and then it's okay.
Yeah, it depends. Like I'm mixing because oftentimes when I gave it away for mixing, it sounded too high end and too clean for me, and I have this certain picture in my mind,
Yeah.
and I want to sound it exactly like this. And when you know how it should sound, you find a way to get there. So I think, in, at least for me, mixing on my own is the only way.
But we I have to say we met like at your place in close to Bremen last summer to go through the mixes again, like
I,
because we have these four songs and I mixed them on my own, and I think you said like you're not too happy because it was too high end and
as always.
yeah, I mean, yeah, but like some sounds you would have done differently. So we met in at your place and did another mixing session. But
Yeah.
um, where like of course it's a taste question. Yeah. So also let me check. Can we expect more music collaboration from you? I mean, yeah, we have these four songs, and we as I said, we wrote like maybe 10 ideas together, which are
Yeah.
some are finished, some are not. And
Yeah, and we are also like sharing ideas all the time. Like when I'm in the studio, or I also have a project with my brother.
yeah,
We also make some ideas and then send it over to Nicolas. And um, yeah,
Pinie.
maybe kind of drums. Like Nicolas, we want those kind of drums that you really are pro in. So can't you do this? And he's sending it back, and I think we have kind of a musical loop right now to
Yeah.
just share ideas.
And to be honest, like because we started some ideas, then maybe I work on them separately for a long time, and then maybe send it over to Marcel and see like, okay, do you want to add anything, or just can I, is it okay like this? Um, let's see. I mean, let's see. Let's do this album first, and then I'm pretty sure that we will continue making music together because it feels really, really naturally and very without pressure and no stress connected to that.
Yeah,
Which,
definitely. I think someone was asking if we're touring
yeah.
again together.
Yeah, we would tour together, but not in Europe actually. I'm really, really, I'm also sad about that, but you have your own tour and it runs really well. So I think like um, we could have done like maybe like a collab tour, but for now we will tour in the US in October. Um, I don't know how many dates. Like we are still organizing our dates, so but it will be the major cities that we play together.
Mm.
And yeah, we have to see if we come up like maybe do a little jam during the shows as well. But I'm looking forward to this actually a lot.
Yeah.
So cool. Do you have other questions, or shall we just call it a day?
Questions out there.
Yeah. No, I mean, okay. I mean, we answered a lot of questions, and I will put on this video for a while on a reel or like as a story to have it there for a bit, and then yeah, it was really nice talking to you actually, and I hope you have a good time in Mexico. But you don't play any more shows, right?
No, I played three shows here,
Mm,
and Mexico was also beautiful. Really like it here.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have to come back soon, but that's not planned. All right. Okay, guys. Like the album is dropping on April 19, and there will be 3 more songs with Marcel. And see you soon, Marcel. See you.
Yes,
Bye bye.
guys.
Bye.